Let me ask you a question. How many times have you been in those situations where you've gotten paid, you've spent all this money, and you've somehow got no idea where all your money's gone?
I can tell you I don't have money.
Hey guys, it's Amy. Welcome back to another video. It's been a very hot minute since I last uploaded a video on YouTube.
It's been 84 years.
I have been procrastinating this one a little bit. Although life did get busy and work did get busy, I can't blame it all on that. I think I did procrastinate a good, I'd say, 2 or 3 months since I got this new camera that I'm filming with. That's why all the lighting looks really nice. I finally set it up this week, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. In this video today, I wanted to show you guys how you can avoid the situation of not knowing where your money is going. Now, that's something that I've gone through as well, and I'm sure many of you guys have. It's something that we all experience at one stage in our finance journey, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that's very normal to go through, and we all should be proud of going through that because it actually helps us develop better money habits and also helps us develop better money systems in the future. When I first started my personal finance journey, one of the first things that I ever did was track my income and my expenses on Google Sheets. At the time, it was about 3 years ago now, where I first started. My Google Sheets spreadsheets were not pretty. They didn't really have any fancy charts or anything. It was literally just a couple of blank tabs in the Google Sheets, and I would just have the bank statement that I downloaded from my bank. I would put everything in there, and I would just give them categories and everything, but it was nothing pretty, nothing fancy, but it really helped me dig into where my money was going. The reason why it's actually important to track your income and your expenses at the beginning of your personal finance journey is because, number one, you want to understand how much you're actually earning. Even though you might have, the same salary every single month, there are still other, income that you might not be aware of that you're actually earning, but because you haven't tracked it. Things like interest income, potentially cashback rewards that sitting somewhere in that account of yours through that app that you've downloaded but you've never checked it. You might have had like a rebate from a bank that you've never tracked either because it just never occurred to you to track it. So there's a lot of situations where you think you've earned this much, but you could have earned more. But it could also be the reverse as well. You could also be earning less and you also didn't know that because you didn't track it, and it just comes through your bank statement and you kind of just take it for granted. When it comes to tracking your expenses at the beginning of your personal finance journey, this part is the most crucial because it really breaks down for you where your money is going, whether you're spending intentionally, whether the money that is being spent, how much of that is actually a need and how much of that is actually a want. And you can also discover many other things when you actually track your expenses. You could be spending so much money at, Mecca buying beauty products and makeup, but you've never used it. And you start to wonder, is that intentional? Is that a need or a want? Or am I just being crazy? Don't worry, I've been there too. I used to buy so much makeup from Mecca. Now I barely buy makeup. I only buy moisturizer, toner from Mecca. But I used to buy so much makeup from Mecca that I never really used that often. And it made me feel crap that I spent so much money then and never used it. But I was only able to understand the spending habits of mine when I actually tracked my expenses. By doing that, it actually started to help me set better short-term and long-term financial goals. And because I started to track my income and expenses, doing that really helped me understand how much I could actually save, how much I could actually invest, even though at the time I didn't invest, but now I do. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can track your income and expenses through a step-by-step tutorial in this video today. It will be in Google Sheets and you will most definitely be able to download a free template in the links below. The first thing we will want to set up is our categories tab, and within the categories tab you'll have your income categories and you'll have your expenses categories. Within the income categories you'll be able to put in a maximum of 4 income categories, and within each income category you'll have about 15 rows to put in each income subcategory. And the reason why I set it up like this is because it allows you to put in more areas of income under a main income in case there's multiple streams that you would like to record. With these cells here that's in light gray, these can all be overridden. You can add in more in, you can remove it, you can change this to say 9 to 5 income, whatever floats your boat. Within the expenses categories and subcategories, you can do essentially the same thing as income. However, there is about 15 categories that you can put in, and within those 15 categories, there's 15 subcategory rows below that. So you've got a lot of room to move in the expenses categories in case you're someone who does want to go into more detail. And if you're someone who doesn't want to go into a lot of detail and you want to keep it high level, you can do that as well. In column H here, we've got a column here that will ask you whether the expense is a fixed expense, meaning it's the same every single month. This expense doesn't change. It is probably more of a necessity than a want, and it's something that you want to tick off because it happens all the time. You always get billed for this, and it's something that you can't really remove from your budget. And if that is a fixed expense, what you want to do is give it a tick. If it doesn't have a tick, it means that it's not fixed, it's more of a variable expense, it doesn't occur all the time, the amounts change quite frequently, and it's not something you can predict. Now, the next thing we'll want to do is set up our financial goals. Now, this is a part of the financial journey that you'll figure out along the way. It's not something that you might do at the start of your personal finance journey, because you do need to track for a few months to figure out what some of your financial goals are across your income subcategories. In this tab, everything that is in light gray is editable, whether you're putting in a number or whether it's from a drop-down list like this. Alrighty, so the next tab is the transactions tab. So this tab here, that was my dog. Nori. Shh. Thank you. Good boy. Alright guys, so in the transactions tab, this is the golden tab. This is the tab where you'll be putting all of your actual expenses and all of your actual income that you've received. Now, I think the easiest way to run through this is to actually go through an example together. So everything in here is based on dummy data, and we're gonna do one example together. So let's just say we spent $65 at Mecca buying a new foundation. So let's put today's date, and then let's say Mecca foundation, new foundation, and let's just say that, yep, that was $65. The bank that I used was with CBA, the card that I used. This is an expense, so you can either type it in like this, or you can do the drop down and pick the expenses here. Now that we've picked expenses, we also want to pick what subcategory of expense this is. Now, this is related to makeup, so let's put it under beauty and care. Now, once you've done that, it automatically gives you the main category, personal spending, that we've created in the categories that I have over here. It doesn't have to be called personal spending. It can be called shopping. It can be called anything that you like. Just whatever that makes sense for you when you look through your transactions. Now, the method that I showed you guys was manually inputting the transaction line by line. You can also download a bank statement in an Excel format from your bank's website. That will give you an extract of, the last month's transactions, as well as, I think they even go back to as far as 6 months as well, if you want to go that far. But I enjoy tracking it manually by inputting it every week. At the end of the week, when I do my finances, it just allows me to stay accountable, and I feel that when I manually input it, it's a lot more mindful as well. Now, let's hypothetically say we've inputted all this data from all the way from 2021 to 2022, so let's just say the past 2 years. And now we want to start understanding where all our money has gone, how much have we actually earned over the over the years, and then also how can we allocate our money better towards more resourceful assets. In order to do that, I've got a cash flow summary here for you guys where you can filter by annual year to show you exactly by the annual year, month by month, where your money is going in terms of income, each category, how much you've made in each month, as well as expenses, how much you've spent in each category, as well as subcategory, the ones that you've made in the categories tab here. However, if you're someone who's more visual and you want to be able to see charts and graphs of where your money is going, how much you're earning, and how much of that is going towards XYZ, I've actually provided you guys 2 tabs here where it shows you charts of the income that you've made for the month of April 2022, for example, as well as the expenses by category and where all the money is going, as well as expenses by subcategory, so it digs even deeper into where your money is going, as well as breaking it down into fixed or variable expenses, meaning your needs versus your wants. The charts here will automatically update based on your selection up here. And say you want to see January 2021, you'll be able to see everything again and it will automatically update for you. Super easy to use. Now in the annual dashboard here, it's the same concept as the monthly dashboard. You'll be able to see everything for income and expenses broken down for you, but it will be for the annual year. So at the end of the year, you can come into this dashboard here, or even during the year if you're curious to know how much you've been spending or how much you've been earning, you can come into here and really just dig into where all your money is going and how much you've been earning. The section where it will tell you your progress in terms of achieving some of your financial goals for your income is also in the annual dashboard, which is in this little chart here. So I would highly encourage you guys to go through some of these charts when you are tracking your income and your expenses. It will really allow you to understand and dig into visually where you're earning your money the most, as well as where you are spending your money the most, and whether that makes sense or not. Now that pretty much wraps up the tutorial. There's still lots of components around, tracking your savings, your investments, debt repayments, other savings goals, etc. But I think it's really important to set the foundation and having a system in the first place to tracking your income and expenses. These are 2 concepts that aren't hard to understand, and it will really help you guys set up a system as well as a habit for tracking your finances. I might have missed a thing or two in terms of running through the tracker for you guys. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, or DM me on Instagram if you have any questions for how to use the tracker. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.